Well, g'day everyone and welcome back to the channel. This week we're going into the territory, so go and get yourself a cold drink, get your feet up for the next 20-30 minutes or so. Come and join Ali and I for the adventure. Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Alison.
We decided a couple of years ago that we'd work hard and save all of our money and start living life on our own terms.
So we bought a caravan and hit the road on a trip for two all around Australia.
So why not come and join us every week for our adventures? Well, we've just crossed the border into the Northern Territory and we're heading towards the BARKLY Homestead Roadhouse. We're going to spend the night there tonight because we want to break the trip down so we get plenty of time to look at things as we go. But on our way through last night we stayed at Camberwell, didn't we?
We did, by the Billabong.
Yeah, the Billabong, which is just on the other side of town, or on the Territory side of town, probably about 2 k's out or so. Wasn't too bad down there. You get yourself a great little spot down by the water. We saw lots of great, what was the lily pads with the flowers?
Yes.
Which I thought were birds until I put my glasses on. A lot of bird life, and the Billabong itself is beautiful. A few people camping down there, but it seemed like you had enough space.
Yes.
But if you're a bit noise conscious, you do hear the trucks going over the bridge which goes across the Billabong of a night, but nothing out of the ordinary too much. But I think the important thing is that if you're leaving Camberwell and you're heading towards the BARKLY Roadhouse, or you're heading towards Three Ways, there's no fuel until you get to BARKLY. So I think there's about 250 odd k's of no fuel. So just make sure you're fueled up. There is a spot in Camberwell where you can get it, and it was a bit cheaper than what it is over here once we've crossed the border. I think by about 10 cents or so. So we just topped off there. That should last us till we start pointing north up the Stewart Highway in a few days' time.
Hopefully so.
Yeah, just spin the camera around. I'll give them a bit of a look. So you have your expectations of what you think places are going to be like, and this is exactly what I thought the territory would be like when we come in. Just big, flat and open. It's pretty cool. All right, well, let's get to BARKLY.
In 600 metres, turn left.
Well, we're getting close to the BARKLY Homestead now. It's about 270 k's from the border. It's not the world's most interesting drive, is it, Al?
No, there's not a lot to look at. Same bush.
Yeah, if you like bush, there's plenty to look at. But nevertheless, there was no fuel, as we said, for that 270 k's.
No.
So we're just going to jump in and hopefully get onto a drive-through powered site. We want some power and water. We've been off grid for a little while now. We just want to catch up with all our washing and do all those sorts of things while we're here. So we might as well take advantage of it.
Yes.
And then maybe go up the pub. We've crossed the border, Al. You know our policy.
I know
Across the border, we go out for dinner.
I know your policy.
It's hers too. All right, well, let's get into the homestead. As we showed you before, we pulled into the BARKLY Station Roadhouse. It's one of the most remotest roadhouses in the country. I never knew that, but they produce their own power here and they also purify their own water. Here's our spot. We've got some great sites here, plenty of room. All of them are drive-through if you come onto the powered section, and we did. We thought, why not? We'll take advantage for $40 for the night for the both of us. We might as well charge everything, wash everything, do everything we need to do before we move further up the road. But yeah, it's really good. But I'll grab Alison out of the van and we'll take a bit of a tour around the park. As we said earlier, plenty of powered sites here. In fact, there's have 80 here, Al.
There's 80 here, yes.
80 sites, so you can see they're all here, and as I said, they're all drive-through. And then you've got other forms of accommodation. So there's like huts or villas, bit of motel stuff. Just, yeah, it's pretty good. Has a dump point and all that sort of gear. It's a good little place to come and stop.
It does. Amenities, camp kitchen, unpowered section.
Yeah.
It's quite a nice spot to stay.
Yes. Check out these two blokes, they're huge. They're made out of old Roadworks signs. Geez, that's clever. The pool looks very inviting. Unfortunately today it's only 17 degrees, so I don't think we'll be going in. Be great on a hot day though. Grassed areas, tables, there's a barbecue area here, just some places to kick back and relax. You've had a long day on the road, are you?
Yes, no, it's quite nice actually.
It is, it's very, very nice. I suppose if you decide that you want to come and stay here on your way north or south in the NT, then the one thing you need to know, and probably the most important thing, if you stay at the Barkly Homestead, there's no bookings here, is there, Al?
No bookings required. First in, first rest.
That's right. So 80 powered sites, they say unlimited unpowered, but I don't think it's unlimited, but you know what we mean. Yeah, get in early. They open from 10 o'clock in the morning.
I think most comments is they're usually full for the powered sites by about 4.
Yeah, it's just coming now on to about 2 o'clock and she's starting to fill up. Well, welcome back to a special edition of Steve's cooking session. Special why? I know you're all asking the same question, because this time we're cooking breakfast, but we're cooking them at night because this time we're making overnight oats. So to make overnight oats, Ellen and I have these a bit on the road. They're good, they fill your belly up, and you don't feel hungry till later on in the day. So yeah, always good for that. They're really easy to make too. What we're going to do is just put them into a bowl and essentially let them cook themselves in the fridge overnight. So all you need is some rolled oats, 1/3 of a cup. So put 1/3 of a cup in. We use any container that will seal, so that way if we drive the next day it won't splash out while it's inside of our fridge. All right, so let's put that to one side. Next thing to go in is 1/2 cup of milk. So you can use whatever milk you like. If you're into skinny milk or soy milk or whatever it is that you drink, then put that in there. I'm just into just standard moo cow milk. All right, so that's in and done. Next one, tablespoon of yogurt. We use the YoPro one, not because it's got protein in it, because it just tastes nice. It's just a vanilla yogurt, it's really good. Let's put a big heaped tablespoon to each one. Done and done. I'll put a bit more in mine. Rightio. And then next, teaspoon of peanut butter. So use whatever peanut butter you like. If you excuse my fingers here, Al, I did wash my hands. There it goes. In it goes. Done. And the last one is 1/2 a banana each. So just peel a banana and just cut it up in small slices into each. I'll do about 1/2 in each one. And then just give a bit of a stir just to combine the ingredients. Overnight, the oats will absorb all of the liquid that's gone in there, and then tomorrow morning you them in the microwave for about, I don't know what we're doing for, about 30-40 seconds.
I think so.
Just enough to put some heat on them. And that's it, breakfast is ready for tomorrow morning. That easy. Join me next time for another special edition of Steve's Cooking. Well, good morning everyone. We left the Barkly Homestead probably about an hour ago, didn't we, Al?
Yes, about an hour.
Yeah, and we've just been driving further towards the west. We've heard by all reports at the moment the Barkly Highway is in pretty poor condition. We get about 50 kilometres out of 3 ways, but we'll have a look when we get down there. We did some truck drivers yesterday and we were chatting on the radio saying it was quite bad down there.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so we're just going to, like everyone does, just take your time and get through that. But we thought we'd have a quick talk about our stay at the Barkly Homestead. It was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really good actually. Quite enjoyed it.
It was.
Nothing necessarily fancy, but it had everything we needed, and it was a good place to stop and refresh and
it was, yes,
and get yourself going again.
Certainly, yeah. And for $40 a night, sometimes you just need to pay it, so you can do that. We charged everything up, didn't we? We
did take the opportunity to charge everything and do a couple of loads of washing and just relax.
Kick back and relax. And
tested out the aircon and ran it on warm this time instead of aircon mode.
Who would have thought? We've come up from New South Wales because it was getting too cold down here. It was 4 degrees in our caravan this morning we woke up.
It was a bit chilly.
Yeah, we never thought we'd have need for a heater, but we did run the aircon, as Alison said, on reverse cycle.
Yeah,
26 degrees. It was bloody beautiful in there this morning. Anyway, yes. That was great. So plan for today, we're going to a free camp on our way up the Stewart Highway. It's called Sam's Find. I'll show you that when we get there. It's just a gravel pit off the side of the road that's going to do us before we continue to head further north towards Daly Waters. But we're going to take the opportunity just to do a quick turn when we get down to Three Ways. We're going to go down to Tennant Creek and get our fuel down there, because we had a look at the fuel spy app last night and it's about 30 cents cheaper, so we're happy to drive the 19 kilometres down to get the fuel and turn around and come back.
Yes.
Anyway, we'll show you what we get up to throughout the course of today. Alright. Once we get out on the road of a morning, after an hour or so, I always stop and I just check over the van and the car to make sure everything's secure, nothing's moved around inside, just prevents some hassles we have a little bit later on. But normally I do is just go along and I check my doors, check the awnings intact, make sure the door's shut, the steps still tucked away, all the tyres look like they're in good nick, all the lights are working. Just simple little things, but it does make life a lot easier on the road, and you might be able to identify a problem that might lead into a huge problem later on. It's a little bit windy, so I hope the sound's okay, but we've just stopped at a rest stop which is about 55 kilometres west of the Barkley Homestead. There's a beautiful wetland here, there's pelicans, there's birds, there's just full on. What a great place to stop. Now you can stay at this rest stop right by the side of this wetland overnight for 24 hours. There is a few people camped here, I won't film them, give them a bit of privacy, but what a great place to stay, and it's all free. About 50 kilometres off Three Ways at the moment. The road's been progressively getting worse. It's just a lot of flood damage which has happened over successive cyclones, I think, over the last couple of seasons. They don't have the money, the people or the resources to be able to fix it, so it pretty much stays the same. So I think we're down to about 30k an hour at the moment. We'll just weave our way through this section. These ones are actually quite tame, aren't they, Al?
I was going to say, this is really nothing compared to what we've seen prior to this.
We've seen some really big holes, but the one thing is that most of them are marked, but some of them aren't.
Yes,
and
yes.
The couple that aren't, that everybody's been telling us that have been really dangerous. So
yes,
we'll just pot along at a reasonable speed. The speed limit for this road's 130k an hour. We've been rolling along at about 80, just so that we can back off and slow down. Everybody so they can get around pretty easy, can't they?
they can, and they've put up signs to say, you know, road damage or roadworks, reduce speed, and they've put up the speed limit signs to reduce your speed as well, which has helped that you're knowing you're coming into an area that's not so great on the road.
It does. And the other tip is if a car comes up behind you, let them go around you, because you see where they swerve, so then you know where they're at.
We have watched a few cars in front of us
Swerve around, yeah.
do figure eights on the road, yes.
Yes. All right. Slightly worse section. Get through this, a little bit to that one. Some of them you just can't do the weave in and out of, but if you take them slow enough, they're not too bad. This one here, we might be better if we go to the other side of the road over here and take this up the centre. Show you, there's a sign coming up here at the moment, and it's I've never seen this sign before. It's obviously a sign they use here in the territory. It's for potholes. Never seen it. It took us a while to work out what they were until we found the second one. Then we knew exactly what they were.
So flood damaged road.
Well, it's no worse than going up the gate. One of the few holes. I think when we return to Brisbane, Al, I'll never whinge about a pothole again.
Not at the moment.
No, just completed the Barkley and we've come down to Three Ways. We're on our way down to Tennant Creek at the moment to get some fuel, just to save ourselves about $30, which is pretty good at it.
Not too bad.
Yeah, you've only got to go 20 kilometres out of your way, so we're more than happy to do that. What did you think of the Barkley?
It was a very long drive, but in terms of the road condition, we've heard varying reports. The last 50, 60 k's wasn't real good, considering they've had 2 cyclones come through and a bit of rain in the last, I don't know, in the wet season I should say, so it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No.
Definitely periods of, you know, the road wasn't good, there was lots of potholes, but it wasn't for the extended period of time that I thought it would be, so on the whole, not too bad, but we did take it slow and we did weave around the potholes and we got there. It just took a little longer.
I think for 98% of them, they were very well marked. You only had to slow down. It'll be a bit of a challenge at night, and it's probably a bit of a challenge in the rain too, because one thing we did notice is you can see the potholes from a fair distance off because of all the red dirt that was coming out that was staining the road. But yeah, certainly taking the time. But I don't think, from what we were told about the road and then the reality of driving the road, were 2 very, very different things. Yes, it's potholed, and yes, it can be very dangerous, but it wasn't as bad as
we anticipated
based on what we'd been told. But anyway, onwards and upwards, work our way down to Tennant Creek now, get some fuel. We've heard there's a couple of indiscriminate holes along this road as well, so let's take our time and see what we find. I don't think you're going to need to.
Alright, well we've come down to Tennant Creek as we said to get some fuel. It's $2.02 a litre here at these little remote unmanned garages, which is heaps cheaper, isn't it Al?
much cheaper, yes.
Yeah, we're sharing the mic at the moment because it's very windy out here.
Sorry.
So we'll fill up here. The price up at Three Ways today was $2.34 a litre. So we're saving 32 cents. We'll probably put in 100 litres. That's a savings of about 30 bucks. Now I know it sounds a bit stingy that we drive this far to get that sort of fuel, but when you add up those 30 bucks over a long period of time, geez, it saves you some money and you're out here on the road.
It does.
All right, well, we'll get this topped off and we'll get ourselves mobile.
Three Ways now. This is one that we avoided to save the money for fuel, but geez, I tell you what, you're in people in there. There's the bare bum Harry's.
Oh,
There's a snake up there.
Three Ways.
Three Ways.
She's popular.
We travelled up from Tennant Creek. We're on our way further north, as you know. We've stopped there overnight for tonight. We're at a place called Sam's Find. It's an old stockyard. I've got to say the flies are getting friendlier the further we're going north, but it doesn't look too bad. The good flat site. It's only going to be an overnighter. A couple of other vans in tonight. I'll tell you what, we should get some amazing stars and a fantastic sunset about right there. Anyway, I'll show you all that later on. We're just getting to the end of the day. I said to you we get a great sunset. Check this out. That is unbelievable, and it's getting a real glow about it now. We're just in the middle of nowhere, aren't we?
We are.
It's beautiful.
Bring on more sunsets like this.
Yes. Can I just say, if you've never ever seen an outback sunset before, check this out. That is absolutely amazing. If that's not Australia, what is?
Well, we've just stopped at some Roadworks. Let's show you something interesting. I've never seen this before, but that's just the Roadworks on. We've got 4 minutes left to wait there.
I think it's quite good actually.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Anyway, we thought we'd take this time just to tell you about last night. We stayed up at a free camp called Sam's Find. It's just south of Brenner Springs. It was great, wasn't it?
Oh, I actually really enjoyed it. We were on top of the hill. We had great views, wonderful sunsets and sunrises and beautiful stars, so it was very nice.
It was, yeah, and I actually forgot to get the camera out last night and do the stars. Actually, I'm going to put in a bleeding heart excuse. It was too cold to go outside the caravan.
It was a bit chilly.
Yeah, but it was a great stay. But today we're on our way up to Dally Waters. We got a tip from a mate of mine in Western Australia that get up there early, that way you don't have any problems getting in. We should get there about 10 o'clock this morning, so we're pretty happy with that. I think they crack their gates between 10 and 11, but we'll find that out when we get there, spend the night, and we'll take you to the pub.
Well, that's it for this week's episode. Ali and I really hope that you enjoyed it. Come and join us next week. We move further north and stay at the historic Dally Waters pub before moving on to Manaranka. If
If you liked today's episode, please give us a like. If you've got any questions, hit us up in the comments section. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so because it really allows our channel to grow. We can't wait to see you next Saturday at 9 o'clock. Have yourselves a great week. See you then. Bye-bye.